let me get one thing out of the way. This week's episode is a despairing one. I mean, for the past 7 episodes, we finally find out what happened to Abby and how she died. All the theories, everything that's brought up to this point, we're now knowing right here and now. I don't know whether or not I should talk about this week's episode. This, in my personal opinion, this is the most saddest and the most despairing episode of Ray Donovan I've ever seen. I mean, just seeing Lee Schreiber cry and just seeing the passing and the theories all connecting together, it's... But we might as well find out what this episode runs for itself. So, I think we should start. So this week we have horses. Roll with it. This is an episode that fully takes advantage of the flashbacks and, or at least 20, it's a full episode all using flashbacks. Everything connecting to this event. Everything from the past can easily be, at least episode 8 can be like the pre-season 5 episode that we had to wait we had to wait 8 episodes until it happened. So it begins with Terry talking with Abby as they're setting up the restaurant when she gets a call about how she never made it into the test because 3 other people already were filling the slots up. Of course, Ray winds up finding out about this as he decides to go to... Ray finds out about this as he persists Abby to go to surgery and not take the meds that she was given, as Ray winds up deciding to go to New York to resolve the issue. And this is the pinpoint and the connection we have where Bridge winds up meeting the kid, and we find out that he's got the disease or the cancer, whatever it is. So in the meantime, Terry winds up visiting Abby as she is telling him about Ray throwing out the pills, and basically winds up asking Terry if he could go in and reorder them. but we'll see what happens later on. So as both Ray and Abby are in New York, we wind up finding out that um, Abby winds up getting slammed into prison as Ray winds up finding out about the person he's supposed to meet, which explains the reason why he's so hungover and everything, because of the post situation that happened in season 4. That's what happened to Avi. I mean, despite the fact that he looks like he came out perfectly fine, minor bruises here and there, that's what kicks him to take heroin and narcotics and everything. As of course, Ray winds up finding his contact and getting the address from this doctor who is basically winds up beating the living snot out of Ray. Like, just cutting his arm, nearly beating him. But it takes up to a point where Ray winds up actually getting the address from her. As he obviously winds up deciding to patch himself up before proceeding on with the job. So we see that Abby winds up getting a look at the grand opening of the bar, and the bar, oddly enough, is named after her, which very nice, especially seeing as how Ray loved her. And I just admit that's really good touch to somebody. So yeah, as we continue onwards, Ray winds up patching himself in the hospital as he winds up going into the room and, of course, getting the kid that we would see in the earlier episodes sick and out of the eval, putting Abby there in the slot. So Abby, while still in the bar, she winds up going into the bathroom as all of a sudden she just starts gushing out blood out of her mouth and falling down to the ground as both Bridget winds up helping her out and decides to call a doctor, but Abby basically denies wanting a doctor, wanting any help at all through the time that she's going through. As they go outside and, both Abby and Terry wind up going outside and taking a little smoke. Later on, Abby winds up getting home with Terry as he winds up tucking her into bed, but also Bridge comes home where Abby winds up taking her the pills that she's been giving and just popping the caps off of them and just filling them into a little cup. As at this point, Abby accepts her fate at death's door. So as Ray winds up getting the call for the appointment, he basically gets off the plane and heads home to tell Abby the good news. But it's too late. Before Ray could arrive, she is now on death's bed and has passed away. And as Ray comes home and sees her dead body, he just mourns in despair especially seeing as how this was the love of his life. I mean, having a wife taken away from you is just... it's a tough thing to go through. Almost everybody goes through that, and even I am subjugated to that. It happened just about 3 times, and I shouldn't go on further. A quick summary. This episode, this part alone, just when Ray comes home and sees Abby as she's lying stone cold on the bed, and Ray just comes in just bawling up in tears. That moment, that was the moment that teared me up. And although this was coming, I did not expect this to happen at all. Or at least we see how she dies. She accepts her death, takes the red pills, and it looks like she has the cancer, but also goes through the overdose. We still have one more scene to go, and I can summarize the episode. So, for the final scene in the episode, Ray winds up coming to the bar as he basically is ticked off as ever about the death of his the love of his life, as he basically goes to Bridget and points things out. He points fingers at her, but as Mickey tries to intervene, that's when all of a sudden, that's when he goes on his mad bar attack spree and starts attacking everybody there. As they wind up getting hospitalized, and Ray gets arrested, which leads to the point why Ray at this time is going through the anger management classes. And that concludes Horses. The meaning behind the episode is of 2 things. One is a song that plays at the very near end of the episode, just right before Abby passes, which that song also comes up in the end credits for the episode. Then the next one is for the painting that's put up in the bar. And that's how the episode is called Horses. I have to be honest right now. Out of all of the episodes of Ray Donovan that's come out, at all, this is one of the most depressing episodes I've ever watched in my damn life. I'm serious. I mean, as you can tell as I went through the notes, just seeing Ray just look at the stone cold wife on the bed, that brought me to tears. That is the most despairing thing I've ever seen. I know Ray Donovan at times can get really dark and they don't have the best of endings, but, well, just, wow. Out of everything that's brought up from the beginning of the series, this episode is the one that I feel for the character. I feel for Lee Schreiber's character. Just the depth of his love. It's... I just don't have the words for it. It's just... It's despairing. If you think I'm making that up, I'm not. I'm really, really not. I want to hear from you guys on this episode if you saw it. I shouldn't even add the questions to this. I could, but it'd just be one simple question. Throughout the episode, by the time Heavy died, and Ray came home and saw and just fell into despair before going into rage mode, did you tear up at the moment? Let me know. And I'll see you guys sometime around this week for 4 episode opinions, as well as My Little Pony. Just see you guys later.